This is Dave Pellegrinelli at AFX Title and TitleSearch.com. We get a lot of questions from clients about what constitutes a clear title on real estate. And while clear title is kind of a subjective term, typically here are the things that somebody's going to be looking for to see if a title doesn't have clouds on it or encumbrances. The most important and the most common request is whether or not the property has any liens. Are there mechanics liens? Are there foreclosure liens? Are there tax liens? Those are the type of things which can affect the property. And one of the types of tax liens that's become more popular are IRS or Treasury Department liens, where the owner or even a prior owner of the property did not pay their income tax, and that resulted in a lien on the property. So that's the first thing that can cloud a title and make it not clear. The second thing is, are there any other than known mortgages? Obviously, many properties will have a mortgage. That doesn't necessarily make it a property that isn't worth buying, because the mortgage is probably going to get paid off at transfer. But you want to make sure that the mortgages that exist are known mortgages. There's nothing hidden. There's no home equity lines or second mortgages which are in existence. The third thing to verify on a property title search is that the ownership is correct. Are the parties who are transferring the property the actual properties that are on title? Are there any quitclaim deeds? Are there any remainder interests or life estates? Are there any interest held to a third party? For example, a partnership or percentages that somebody else owns. You want to verify the ownership is complete that's transferring the property to you. Then you get into some less common type of encumbrances, such as easements. Are there allowances for a neighbor to pass through the property to get to an adjoining property? Is there a shed that's in the back of the property which belongs to a neighbor, or is a fence line encroaching on the property? So easements are important. And then in some parts of the country, mineral rights and subsurface rights are important to verify. Does the property own the mineral rights or gas rights or even oil rights, or have they been transferred a long time ago to a petroleum company? If that's the case, you want to know about that so that somebody's not going to come drill on the property and put an oil well in your backyard. And then when properties are being reviewed for purchase or reviewed for status, you want to see, are there foreclosure filings on the property? Even if they haven't become an actual foreclosure, are there any litigation pending filings, or notice of foreclosure or notice of default? Are there open permits? We have been seeing quite a number of individuals with properties that run into problems where a prior owner opened up a permit to try to do some work and either completed the work or not, but never closed out the permit, so that when they go to open their permit or do some work, that other open permit is still there, which may need inspections to see if the electrical was done right. Even if it was done 5 or 10 years ago, the inspector is not going to go by the word that it was done properly. So it's important to see if there's open permits prior to encumbering a property. And the last thing is to look and see if there's an HOA or a condo association involved in the property. Are their finances intact? So that if you're buying a condominium, you're not buying into a condominium association or HOA that has financial difficulty or delinquencies that has to be made up by the other property owners. So a clear title is subjective. Almost every property has some type of encumbrance on it. Even if you buy a property with no loans, no mortgages, no liens, nothing at all negative on the property, there will be some restrictions on the use. Zoning, by definition, is a property encumbrance. If the property is zoned to be used only for residential, then you can't put a business on that property. You can't build a car dealership on a property that's a house. That is kind of a cloud on the title, keeps that property restricted to certain uses. So a clear title is kind of a subjective term. What most people are looking for when they say clear title is, are there any liens that are going to surprise me? Are there any mortgages that are going to surprise me? But on the other hand, there's always something on every property that make it have restrictions of use. And for that matter, no matter when you buy a property, there are some property taxes due. If you buy a property in June, the taxes that were accrued from January to June are accrued. They're not a lien, they're not delinquent, they don't need to be paid till the end of the year, but technically that is a responsibility of that property. So that is an encumbrance, even though it's something that most people will be aware of and be part of the transaction. So don't get too hung up on the idea of clear title, but look for the things that are important to you: liens, mortgages, and make sure that the encumbrances, the easements, the mineral rights, and even open permits are known to you prior to making a decision on the property, so you know what you're getting into. You can reach us at our website, titlesearch.com, which is right here. We have live help on that website. You can also reach us at toll-free 877-848-5337. We're glad to answer any questions about titles or title searching.